Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another first impressions video. Today we're going to be taking a look at Bastard Bonds, which is a pixel art indie kind of turn-based strategy game that came out on Steam earlier this week. The game is considered mature, and so I'll probably be flagging this video as mature. There is pixelated nudity in the game, and I think some strong adult language. So, I don't think we'll be doing a playthrough of this game on the channel at any point for that reason, just because I cannot guarantee that I can censor out all of the nudity and whatnot. But I think I can kind of handle it for the purposes of this video. So we're going to take a look at it now, but I don't think we'll be touching the game beyond that. The game kind of markets itself as a mature game for mature gamers. I tend to disagree. I find the nudity in this game very tacked on. It seems 100% unnecessary. I get that it was the developer's choice, but at the same time I feel that the game could be everything that it currently is, maybe even better, if they had spent less time, you know, animating the nudity rather than, you know, maybe working on the combat or something that's a little bit lacking. But yeah, so let's look into the character creation first, because that's probably the strength of the game, and then we will jump into a little bit of gameplay, which to me, especially in the combat, is a bit lacking. So the door creaks open and a guard takes you by the arm. Expressionless, he takes you into a dim courtroom and leads you up to a podium where you stand alone before a row of white wigs and black robes. A hush falls over the assembly and the judge speaks. Take record of the defendant's likeness for the court archives. Okay, sorry about the cut there, guys. I had to make our character decent here. So this is the character creation screen, and it may look a little bit overwhelming at first, but it's actually very deep and pretty impressive overall. The way the layering mechanic works, right here, you can basically move stuff up and down and see how it affects the appearance, and so with that you can kind of make things look a certain way even though they may not have been intended to be used that way. And you can come out with some pretty cool stuff. So for example, if we move the shorts up, you can see that they're now over the top of the tank top, where if you move them back down, the tank top kind of hangs over the front. There's several body types. There's, you know, male, female, and then orc. So let's look through those. You got the super muscular guy here. You got the pretty large round guy here. A slightly more normal built guy there, and then we have a another normal built guy, a little bit, you know, heavier in the middle. Another smaller guy, and an even tinier guy. And then for the women, we have this like super muscular chick. We have this super heavy chick. A more average built woman, and then another fairly average built woman. And then we have like two thinner builds. With the orcs, they're all pretty large. They're all going to look more like that, sort of just like super muscular. And I think there are some smaller orcs for those of you looking to play maybe a more roguish character like this guy. But yeah, so let's jump into, I guess we'll do one of each really quickly, just to kind of show you guys the different options in character creation, and then we'll get into a little bit of gameplay. So actually, before I do that, let's look at skin tones and stuff. There's 4 different tones that change how light or dark the skin is, and then there's different hues to further customize the actual skin color. So for a darker skin character, you can obviously change it to be more pink or less pink. You can kind of go like so. If you're trying to do like a more Asian character, you could do something like this maybe. But yeah, so there's actually quite a few different skin color options because of how this system works, and overall I think the character creation is extremely well done. It's just that beyond that, there's not a ton of depth to the game. I don't have a bunch of experience with the story, so I can't really lend my opinion to that, but I feel that the gameplay is very flat. and we'll see more about that later. Idle animations just change like how they... This is the only movement you're going to see in the game. The characters don't actually move, they just kind of bounce around the screen. But when they're standing in place, you'll see these idle animations, and so you've got like side to side, up and down. Some of them are kind of weird. This one's like back and forth. He's kind of shifting from one foot to the next. This guy's just like twitching in place. Breathing a little bit heavier, it looks like. I don't know. Moving sort of like water there. That one's kind of awkward. It's in like a spiral, and this one's just all over the place if you're making like a ghost or something maybe. So let's just stick with this one. Okay, so let's throw some armor on this guy. First, you want to always do base layers in this game because you want it to... it's hard to explain, but you basically want to look like he's wearing several different layers because, for example, some of these they're going to have slight gaps through, and so you definitely want to have something underneath it to kind of hide the fact that, you know, you've got big plate mail on and then nothing underneath. So we'll throw that on, and then I think we'll do... I'm not going to do the shirt because we need it for something else. So maybe I'll just do some sleeves like that. And then what's a good armor color? Maybe this gray. We could do like a black knight. That might be kind of cool. Let's do... That's a good armor color. Like silver. Okay, so I think first we're gonna do the like thigh armor there, and then we can do the leg armor. And let's throw some shoes on him. Actually, why don't we do these shoes a different color? We'll do them, I don't know, like a brown, like that. And I already forgot what color I was using. I think it was that one. And then you can throw like the ankle and knee stuff on there, and that, it looks like you have like jointed armor. And then we can throw this chest piece on, and you've got like different options that you can layer on top of that, or you know, you can maybe do the gut plate underneath. And then you've got these big shoulder plates. And where did the forearms go? Here they are. So you can throw those on. If you want, you can use the elbows to make it look like you've got armor joints there. Let's grab that brown again and give him some gloves. And then we'll get back to the gray and do like the wrists. So now it looks like he's wearing a suit of armor more or less, and if we wanted to, we could maybe throw this on there and give him a cape. And I don't know, maybe a hood, something like that. So now we've got this, you know, heavily armored looking character here, all just by kind of layering different stuff on top of each other in what looks like, you know, a metalish kind of material. There's also different hairstyles and stuff, so if we wanted, we could get rid of that. Maybe, I don't know, if there's some like dark hair on him or something like so. So that is one possible option. I'm not going to hit clear outfit here because he's going to end up naked, so I'm just going to do this manually. But you can just hit clear and start from scratch if you want. I just need these two to stay there, or YouTube's going to take my video down. The nudity is not that bad. It's not super graphic. It's, as you can see, the characters are extremely pixelated. There's not a ton of detail, but still, I know there's a lot of people under 18 that watch my channel, and so I'm going to be very, very careful about this. I don't want my video to get taken down. I don't want anybody to be watching something they shouldn't be watching, and you know, they get in trouble or whatever. So I'm gonna tightrope this one if I can. So what do we want to do next? Let's do like a orc wizard, because orcs are known for their wizards, right? How about that? Like he looks like he's throwing up a gang sign, but we'll pretend he's like throwing a spell. So I don't know, let's give him like some pants, and maybe, let's see, we'll give him like some little shoes, and then over the top of that we can give him like, maybe some, I don't like that blue, that works, give him like robes, like that, and maybe a, no, how about like white? That's a little bit too white. Something like that. We'll give him like a sash around the middle. Although with that shirt there, that looks kind of weird. Let's do red. How about red? Yeah, we'll do that. And then if I can find that blue again, we'll give him some sleeves. Oh, we need some shoulders on that, don't we? Let's use maybe this one instead. There we go. Sort of looks like he's wearing pajamas. I think it's probably because of the shirt he's got on. So let's maybe throw on a different shirt. Because how the layering system works, we can always go back and add stuff underneath if we need to. Although you gotta be very careful about the arrows that you click. So doing that under the gi and maybe under the front robe too, just to be safe. So there's that. I mean, you could go through and maybe add some armor to it, or we could, I don't know, give him some like blue cuffs on his robes. So there we have a wizard character. I mean, I don't know, we could throw some armor underneath it. You could give him a scarf. You could give him like a red cape over the top of his robes if you wanted to. You can also, I don't know, like give him some kind of like leather strap across the front to maybe give it more detail. You could throw like a red gem on the front of that or something. I don't know, there's all kinds of little bits and bobs that you can add to stuff to give it more detail. But yeah, so there's an orc sorcerer type character. Let's do one more. We'll do one of the female characters this time. And let's see, we got the warrior and we got the wizard. So let's do like a rogue type character. We'll use this one. So same thing, let's start with some pants. I really like this look right here. So it's sort of like a lighter purple color, and then you do like the brown, they're called like ankle socks, but they look like shoes, and then you do the ankles on top of it, and it sort of looks like a brown little like boot type thing. And then I don't know, let's give her, actually here's a good example of something that you can do. So let's get rid of the ankle socks in that color, and we'll go with a slightly different brown just so we can show, let's go with like that color maybe. And then with this brown, we'll do the leg warmers. And then we'll do the ankles in that color and the knees in that color. So it looks like she's got like, maybe like leather greaves on or something. And then for the chest, we'll throw this thing on there. And then maybe the chest piece, which actually looks kind of dumb. So maybe not. Maybe we'll just go with like that. And then we'll throw a belt over the top of that if we can find a decent color. I guess we'll go with this darker color. So we'll throw that belt on there, and then we'll give it a real bright gem on it, so it looks like she's got like a ruby on her belt maybe. And then in like a gray, let's throw a cloak type thing over it, and let's give her some hair. But I think we're gonna put, oops, didn't mean to do that. I think we're gonna put a hood over it. I don't think, okay, we'll ditch the hair then. I thought it might show through the bottom, but no. And then let's get that leather color back out, and we'll do the arms, just the forearms though, and then maybe like the wrists. So there we have like a roguish type character, and again we can add more detail to that. We could add like a ruby to the chest as well, or maybe give her, I don't know, some kind of like strap here so she can carry like her daggers and whatnot. I don't know. But yeah, so you can obviously make some pretty detailed characters here. Again, I think the character creator is awesome. I've spent a lot of time in it just kind of fiddling around seeing what I could make. And the possibilities are not, I'm not going to say endless, but they're pretty impressive. I wish there was more headgear options. That's my one complaint about this, is that you've got a couple different hair options, and you can actually use those to get a little bit creative as well. I've used, especially with like the male characters, you can make the beard and the short hair look sort of like a chainmail coif if you color it right. But I wish there was like helmets and other options. I've even seen in some of the screenshots they took one of the orcs and made him look like a Sasquatch with just different layers of clothing, and so that was pretty cool too. But yeah, so I guess we'll just go forward with her. So there's our likeness. Basically, when you're done, you hit proceed with the trial, and then you've got to pick a couple attributes and things. So let's look at that now. State your name for the court. Defendant is fine. You can type whatever you want in there. I'm just going to leave it though. So you stand accused before the court. Know you the charges brought against you. So this is going to kind of determine your character's influences, I guess. You get to pick their personality and their skills later, so this isn't necessarily going to directly affect that, but it does have some bearing on who your character is. So let's say that she was, I don't know, a thief. You've been accused of burglaring your countryman's possessions and coin. What say you to these charges? So this is a very interesting sort of dichotomy here. You can tell the court that you're guilty or not guilty, but then it's also going to ask you if your character actually was guilty or not guilty. And so you can be somebody who was guilty and is lying about it. You can be somebody who is guilty and telling the truth about it. You can be somebody who is not guilty and maybe covering for somebody else, or you can be somebody who's not guilty and trying to prove you're not guilty. So there's 4 different possibilities here. Let's say we haven't committed thievery, but we actually are guilty of it. Your plea rings false and the court notes your deception. Oh, so with this one we didn't even get to choose, but in most of them, at least all the other ones I've chosen, you basically have to tell the court if you are, or you don't have to tell the court, you have to tell the game if you're guilty or not. So your crime shall afford you much time to consider your actions. 5 years of your life shall be paid in penance. It really doesn't matter what you pick. You're always going to be sentenced to, I think, 5 years or life or something. This is going to vary slightly, but in the end you're getting thrown in prison no matter what. You shall hereby be stripped of your citizenship and judged guilty. You shall be branded with your crime and interned in the stocks of Lukat to await the execution of your sentence. May God have mercy on your soul. You're taken back to your cell, where you're held down by several guards as your neck is burned with the hot iron. You are forever branded a thief. Over the next few days, you are taken by boat to the island of Lukat. An angry wind whips heavy rain as you are put on a lifeboat with another man in chains and jettisoned some distance from the shore. The current carries you rapidly towards a shore cove where men in guards' uniforms await to receive you. Without a word, you are dragged from the boat and up the path to the old fortress that houses the stocks and throne, soaked and shivering, into your cell where you wait for the execution of your sentence. Something, however, seems strange. Nobody comes to check on you. Nobody comes to feed you. Time passes at an agonizing crawl, and it seems you are being left to die here despite your sentence. Then, after who knows how long, there is a voice at your cell door that snaps you back to attention. Hey you, Pinch, eat this. You don't look so good. A roll of bread drops in through the bars and tumbles toward you. As you tear into it, the voice continues. I have a proposition for you, but first I need to know if you really are what they say you are. Tell me, are you really a thief? Yeah, it's true. I'm a thief. You and everybody else, welcome to Lukat. A woman in brown hooded robes steps up to the bars and begins working with the lock. I'm Sister Borgnina. I heard whispers of this place being cruel, but I never imagined it was really this bad. Nobody deserves to be treated like this, even if you are a thief. The door clicks open, and you can see that under her robe, she is fitted with the gear of a crusader. They are not going to let us leave without a fight. Can you handle yourself? So, based on the choices you make, the person who comes to rescue you is going to vary a little bit. I've gotten some orc guy, some like half-dressed orc with no weapon. This is the first time I've gotten Borgnina, and it looks like she is fairly well armed. So maybe this will be a little bit easier than my last one. We can handle ourselves. So let's see. We have fighting, which is going to basically do melee damage. Guard is your melee defense. Labor is basically your endurance and how much you can carry. Also, when you have to perform like strength tests to do certain activities, I think labor is what they factor in. Hunting boosts your crit. Dodging boosts your evasion. Thwarting is basically for your dexterity rolls and stuff like that. It's also the initiative trait, I believe. Blasting is for magic damage, I guess. Ward is magic defense, and weave is your overall magic during like magic rolls and things like that. So let's make her pretty dodge heavy and maybe thwart heavy. We'll go with like initiative and dodge, and then a little bit of damage and maybe some crit. So let's go like 1. And so that first point we throw in there, you can see that it does 4 points to the one we choose, and then 2 to everything in the same column and row. So if we did fight, it's going to do 4 here and another 2 there. And they do continue to stack on each other, so you can level up certain skills without ever actually putting a point into them, which is kind of an interesting mechanic. I'll get more into that later, I suppose. So let's go maybe 2 into dodge. We'll do 1 into thwart. We'll go a little bit into fighting to keep ourselves alive. And so you can see we haven't put anything into guard yet, and we put 2 into fighting, but because guard is on the same row or column as dodge is, it's actually at the same level already without spending any points there. We've still got 5 left, so let's go maybe into thwart again, dodge again, go a little bit more into fighting. She's not going to know any magic type stuff, so we'll avoid that. Let's go a little bit more into fighting, just so we're not completely worthless. Go thwart again. And so that is pretty much all of our points. We are fairly well rounded. We're definitely more heavily spent in the guile tree versus the force tree. But, you know, we're no slouch in combat. But we can deal some crits, we can dodge, and our dexterity and initiative is pretty solid. So let's escape from our cell. Borgnina nods and turns toward the hall. This should be interesting then. Now here is your character's like personality. You can be adventurous, angry, arrogant, heroic, insane, lewd, miserable, pathetic, revelrous, terse, timid, or violent. So basically you can create a pretty wide range of characters here. Even though they're using like the whole prisoner trope, you can create characters who are innocent and like wrongfully imprisoned, or you can create characters who belong there, or somewhere in between that. So we're gonna be somebody who's maybe just a little bit adventurous. Maybe she just steals stuff because she likes the challenge. She's not necessarily a bad person. You step out of the cell and into the hallway. Thank you, Borgnina. Let's get out of here. Your companion points toward the north. The exit is that way. I hope you're up to it. Okay. So there's a help menu. If you hit F1, it'll show you all the different stuff that you can do. Basically, the movement is exactly what you'd expect. You click here, and let's see. I think if I hit F, or maybe it was C, she'll auto-follow. Let's see. F1 will tell me. Follow mode, yes. So if we hit C, it should call her toward me. If we hit F, she'll automatically follow. Although she is not automatically following. It wants me to go back here. Where does it want me to go? Let's get to the door. And maybe open it. There it is. Look, God is my shield. Okay, I think that's her battle cry. So we got a guy here that we need to fight. Let's maybe head to there. Why isn't she following me? Let's see. I think that's follow, and it looks like she's supposed to be coming in. I guess it's just because we're in combat now. I have to manually control her. So the way combat works is you've got 2 options. You can hold shift to possibly get an extra turn, or you can just click on the guy and do your attack. So right now we're just going to do a regular attack. Let's move her to there. Let's see, he's going to swing at her, and he did get an extra attack. So let's hold shift this time, and you can see how the screen changes when we do that. And then we will click that, and oh, we critted him. So there we go. Let's see, is there anything around here? There should be a key. If you hold still, your followers... Oh, he dropped a sandwich. I will take that. Let's put it into maybe her inventory. She looks like she took a little bit more damage. Oh, she spotted the key. Okay, so it's over here somewhere. Small iron key has been left on the table here. Okay. Kind of key is generic and will fit any door that requires a normal key. Alright. That seems easy enough. Well, let's explore a bit first. We'll maybe head over here. And let's open that door. There's some kind of grate on the ground there. And let's see. Maybe there's somebody else in here that can join us. I will unlock that. And let's hop in here. Doesn't seem to be anything except for some bones. We can examine them though. Still in the grasp of the dusty corpse is a key. It looks like he never got a chance to use it. Okay, so we got another key. We'll have to see what that goes to. We'll hop over here now. And let's see, there's some bones there. Let's go check those out. Can I not examine them? It doesn't appear that I can examine them, so there's probably nothing there. Alright, well we got another door down here. Let's examine this one. And there doesn't really seem to be anything in here except another door. I guess she wants to leave. Well, I want to make sure we're not missing anything. Not that it's going to matter. There's like a weak spot in that wall, it looks like. I don't know that we can do anything with it. Huh, she thought she heard something. I can't really seem to activate that though. Oh well, let's get out of here. Let's head through this way. And we'll open this up and step into some more combat. I'm gonna head that way because I knew that he was there because I've done this before. Let's see, we're controlling the defendant still. Let's get her up there. And now we'll move you and kind of encircle this guy and hopefully deal with him before this guy can close into combat. He's gonna do 4 damage to us there. Oh, he's already in combat. There's a miss. I'm gonna hold down shift and hope for a crit or another turn. Let's focus fire him. Ouch. Okay, we'll try to finish him off. And I'm gonna have her eat that sandwich. Can I not use it? I guess I can't use it right now. Okay, there's 8 damage. Let's get you next to him. I guess she can't squeeze through there. Oh, so there's the risk that you take when holding down shift. You can fumble and botch the attack. And so we did right there, and her attack didn't go through. We'll attack on the diagonal and finish him off, and then grab this sandwich, which I will, oops, drop into her inventory. And we'll use that one there, and then let's use that. Oh, that gave it to her too. No, I want you. I don't know what I'm doing here. Whatever. We're not going to be playing through this entirely anyways, so I'm not too concerned about it. I don't have an ordinary key. I guess we used it. There's a chest in there, though. I'd love to see what's in it. Oh, we got another guy. Okay, let's hop in here. Why don't you get as close as you can? Oh, he fumbled with his second attack. Let's move in here. Oh, we don't get another attack. It seems like you either get to move or attack, but you can't do both. From what I've seen. Oh, she botched it. Oh, she's dead. He's gonna fumble again. I'm just gonna keep wailing on him. We got an extra attack there. Oh, we got Daredevil, so we got some kind of perk. And let's see if we can't finish this guy off. And I think we'll just go ahead and end it after this, because we've already seen basically everything the game has to offer, you know, short of the story. Finish him off. There we go. And he dropped a healing potion, which we'll grab. Come on. There it is. So I'm going to use that. And so I suppose we'll break it off right here. There's a chest there. Let's see if there's anything in it. Nope. I can't seem to use that. Okay. Oh well. Well, this has been Bastard Bonds. Again, this is a 18 plus game, so you can find it on Steam. However, if you're not 18 years or older, you will not be able to purchase it. The game does have nudity, graphic language, and I think some sexual content. I don't think there's any visible sexual content. I think it's all spoken, but at the same time, it is there. So keep that in mind if you plan on purchasing the game. But as you can see, there's not a ton of that type of stuff. I mean, obviously in the opening dungeon, you're probably not going to come across a whole lot of it. You can come across, you know, either scantily clad or nude characters throughout the story. But as far as your own characters, they will be as dressed as you choose to make them. So, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to share my videos however you guys see fit, and I will see you guys back here for our next First Impressions video.